Hello and welcome to Telegraph Studio and Business Reporter's Future of Healthcare campaign, hosted by the Telegraph Online. I'm Alistair Green and today I'm talking to João Andrade from WideCells Group about cord blood banking and how it's transforming healthcare. Good morning, João.
Good morning, Alistair.
So first of all, start by telling me exactly what cord blood banking is and how it's becoming such an important issue for safeguarding our healthcare for future generations.
Well, cord blood banking is storing a baby's umbilical cord blood for periods of up to 30 years. And the relevance of storing a baby's umbilical cord blood is to protect the family against future illnesses. So these cord blood stem cells can be used mainly to treat blood cancers nowadays. And the fact that the family has this powerful resource where they can freeze the stem cells and then use them in the future to treat, let's say, a blood cancer within the nuclear family circle, which means siblings and parents, that's a very powerful resource and technology that families can use today.
It seems strange to me that such a revolutionary concept as this hasn't had a wider recognition than it has. Why is that?
Stem cell technology has been adopted as routine treatment for more than 50 years now. A bone marrow transplant is a stem cell transplant of hematopoietic stem cells, which is the same type of stem cells we find in a baby's umbilical cord blood. The big difference between these two technologies, a bone marrow transplant or a cord blood transplant, is for a bone marrow transplant, we need 100% match between donor and recipient, whilst with umbilical cord blood, we only need around 25 to 50% match. And normally we find that within the nuclear family circle between siblings and parents. And that's why it's so important for families to store their baby's umbilical cord blood, because the likelihood of having a resource they can use in the future to protect the family is much higher. The other aspect which is very important is in countries such as Singapore, the adoption rates for cord blood storage services are around 25%, and countries such as Portugal, Spain, Italy, Greece are around 10% already. And when we look into emerging markets such as Brazil and India, compound annual growth rates exceed 30%. So this is going mainstream in a few countries around the world already, and we expect that to happen in countries such as UK and other countries in Europe when we bridge this gap of information on the benefits of stem cell technology.
So how do you go about just bridging that awareness gap so more people are aware of it?
The first thing is we have come up with a solution, which is an insurance plan that we call Cell Plan, where we are converting this potential £300,000 bill into a £15 policy per month. The way that we believe that we can bridge this gap and increase the awareness is developing specific courseware for healthcare professionals so that they can recommend these services to their patients so that they can make an informed decision. So patients should at least have the option and know that they can store their baby's umbilical cord blood. But at the same time, because we are starting to work more with the insurance industry and enterprise, we want to take the message on new channels so that the technology becomes available for more and more people.
Now, focusing on the safe storage of cord blood is just one of the things that you do. Tell us more about WideCells and what makes you different from other organizations.
What we have built is a complete end-to-end services solution. We are in the insurance business with our Cell Plan division, where we cover all the costs associated with stem cell treatment. We are also providing storage services for umbilical cord blood, and we are involved in research in our WideCells division. And our third strand of the business, which is Wide Academy, is focusing on education and training, which basically means providing accurate scientific and medical information, mainly to medical professionals, so that they can recommend stem cell services to their patients.
You talked about insurance there, making it all more affordable. So why is the whole process in the first place so expensive?
for a number of reasons. One particular reason is the time that the patient will spend in the hospital, the cost of sourcing a sample. Even if it's sourced from a public bank, a bone marrow sample or a cord blood sample can cost $40,000, $50,000 on average globally. So when you add up all those costs, when we are mainly talking about treatments for leukemia, for example, they can cost in the US $700,000, $800,000. In Europe or in the UK, it might cost up to £300,000.
We seem to be relatively at the beginning of cord blood banking and the whole regenerative industry, as it were. Let's fast forward a little bit. How do you see things progressing, say, in the next 5 to 10 years? What sort of scientific innovations can we be looking forward to?
Well, we are already starting to get involved in that as a company, so being involved in research as well in our facility in Manchester. But more importantly, even if with our insurance policy, we are already covering clinical trials for cerebral palsy. We are looking into things such as autism, regeneration of the heart muscle following a stroke, diabetes type 2. So up until now, I think we have almost maximized the potential for treating blood diseases and disorders. And now the future potential is regenerative medicine. There's a lot of funding going into research to solve these big problems. But at the end of it, even if the solution is available, it needs to be affordable. So again, with our insurance policy, we are looking into the future and seeing what treatments will become available and then making it affordable to patients globally.
So as all of these technologies unfold, as evolution continues, where do you see WideCells fitting into all this? What's your ultimate goal?
Our ultimate goal, and we are a mission-driven company, is really to make stem cell treatments accessible and affordable globally. And that means storing stem cells in appropriate conditions, bringing together the best stem cell specialists in the world and have the ability to provide the right diagnosis and treatment plan, work with the best treatment centers in the world as well, and develop our insurance policy in such a way that we can provide cover for the new technologies that are going to appear in the future, so that we can provide this solution to patients all over the world.
It's amazing to see how technology does unfold in the healthcare sector. And just to get a bit of a glimpse into cord blood banking, it's been fascinating finding out more. João Andrade from WideCells, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much, Alistair. Thank you.